Today I have with me today a shipment I just received from eBay. If you read the title, I'm sure you already know. You can see it in there. Whew. Wow. The Spongebob SquarePants Gamecube controller. Put SpongeBob in your hands. Vibration feedback. This looks a bit weirdly packaged, but okay. Gamepad, key features, vibration feedback, 5 action analog pressure sensitive buttons. 8-way pressure sensitive analog control stick, 2 analog shoulder buttons, pressure sensitive C stick, 8-way digital D-pad, and then whatever this is. Did you know that the welcome mat outside of SpongeBob's front door says ahoy? It says small parts not intended for children under 3 years. That's a warranty that... Does that even apply to this anymore? No. Copyright 2004, Gemini Industries Incorporated. Huh. 2004, Viacom International Incorporated. Created by Steven Hillenberg. Rest in peace. Alright. The Spongebob SquarePants Gamecube controller. This is one interesting piece of technology. This is a big package. I guess now I'll get to try and unbox this. This is weird because this is still the age of when they used this blister packaging. And it is... I'd like to at least somewhat keep the packaging intact, but there's not that much of a way to do that. So I'm just gonna do my best. So I used my X-Acto knife to cut this. As you can see, I didn't do a great job. Some people out there are gonna cringe at this, but I'm probably gonna be like keeping this out of the packaging and using it. Oh my gosh. Here it is. These eyes, I don't know, but the whites, kind of like the PlayStation 2 controller I have of this, they feel like they're just painted on, which is kind of a bummer. These teeth, and you kind of can't see it because of the weird lighting, but the teeth are like this yellow color. And as you can tell, they're definitely not as white as the eyes. But, control stick, C stick, D-pad. These are all non-standard buttons. But I'll get into that later. Has all Phillips head screws. And then there's the controller connector. Just got some... Nope, that's not text, that's just some lines. Alright. Well... yeah. So I'll get back to that in a bit. So I can just keep that plastic off to the side. That's the removed paper. Oh my, it's going everywhere. Okay, Spongebob control pad for GameCube by Game Elements, I suppose. Thank you for purchasing the Spongebob control pad for GameCube. The Spongebob control pad is a state-of-the-art product and designed to operate the same as the original Nintendo GameCube control pad. When playing with vibration-compatible software, you will feel vibration in the controller grips as a result of the specific game actions. You feel it in the grips? Compatibility. In most cases, the software used for gameplay will dictate the functions of the controller buttons. Refer to the setup instructions included with the software. Not all software is compatible for use with the features on this control pad. Refer to the icons on the software to determine feature compatibility. Features. Built-in vibration for use with compatible software. 3D camera stick. 8-way directional D-pad. Compact sculpted character design. Wow. And then there's that, which is not very well printed. But okay. Start pause. That's not even the place of the start button, but okay. Yeah. Okay. Button function description. Oh, okay, this is gonna be good. Start button. Depress when starting or pausing gameplay. Directional pad. Used to move objects or characters in a direction. Can also be used to simulate analog stick action for 8-way directional control. Analog stick. Used to move objects and characters in a direction. L, R, and Z shoulder buttons and trigger button. Use of these functions are determined by the specific software. A, B, X, and Y buttons. Use of these functions are determined by the specific software. It's camera stick. Oh, is that really what the C is supposed to stand for? I have a hard time believing that. Used to control viewing angle or other functions as dictated by your software. There is a back. Installation. Turn the console's power off before connecting or disconnecting. Wow, quality. The buttons on the control pad should always be in their idle position during this procedure. Pushing buttons or otherwise may cause the functions of the controller to operate incorrectly. If this happens, turn the console off and turn it on again to reset. Not vibrating, check software. No operation or character movement. Check to make sure controller connector is installed properly. Oh my gosh. Gemini Technical Service Department with an email. Important maintenance and safety notes. What a weird font this is. Do not expose the controller to high temperatures, high humidity, or direct sunlight. Yeah, do not put any heavy objects on it. Do not twist or pull the cable too strongly. Do not throw, drop, or apply strong shock. When cleaning the controller, use a soft, dry cloth. Okay. Never disassemble the controller. Well, I don't know about that. Do not allow liquid or small particles to enter the controller. Do not put the controller where there is excessive humidity or dust, or anywhere subject to oily smoke or steam. And then blank, and then copyright 2004 Viacom. Steven Hillenberg. Oh, jeez. That's a lot of text. But I read it. My neck is starting to hurt from all this. Okay. So we have the controller at hand. Actually, I'm gonna be right back. Alright. Slightly different setup now. So I have the controller. The nose. Ooh. Ooh, this is like... Oh, you know what? This is all like sticky. It looks like that's just like... So it looks to me like there's like this plastic part that's just like part of the shell, and that includes the cheeks actually are plastic too. Solid plastic that's just got a layer of paint over it. But this part with the eyes and the nose, and it goes on the top lip of the mouth, is like a rubber or something. And it has paint on it, and it just feels like sticky out of the box. So that's interesting. Okay. So ooh. That's a clicky. Most third-party Z buttons are like that, and they sound exactly like that. But I'm still a little disappointed. That sounds sort of typical. They sound okay, I think. May I just say, this is sticky too. That's not. This, like the top of the stick is. I read a couple things, like forum posts and stuff, saying that this easily comes off. I could see that. Alright, about this controller, I should say, this is a little weird. It has like a matte finish, sort of. And you can't see it too well, but it has that finish on on most of the buttons as well, which is really weird. I felt this D-pad, left on the D-pad, has a lot of resistance. So that's weird. Start button, it's a button. I should say, to compare this to, I do have the PlayStation 2 one on hand. Or is this PlayStation 1? I don't remember. Whatever. It is copyright 2003. For one, this one is significantly dirtier because it's used. I noticed that these buttons are a little harder than the ones on PlayStation. And this D-pad's a little weird. And these control sticks have a lot of travel. Also with this controller, this controller's huge. Like, I have just about average size hands. This controller is huge for me. But, the GameCube one is about the same size as, like, a regular GameCube controller. In fact, here, let me do this. They're very close to the same size. All right. So, and this is the Smash Ultimate GameCube controller that was released recently. Major difference in the control sticks between this controller and that controller. These control sticks are like, they're tight. I also noticed on these, there's not a lot of travel distance, especially for the C stick. Whereas on these, it just, I don't know. And I think the control sticks are slightly, maybe a little higher than usual. Whew. Getting tired of holding my hands up. So, this control stick, it's just like, well, the C stick has a lot more travel. It might be the texture or something. It doesn't even feel like it's hitting these points. Maybe it's like I'm reaching the edge of its range, but like it does not feel nearly as good as a first party one. That said, it is a controller and I am going to test it now. Okay. For a GameCube controller, I naturally start with how does it feel on Smash Bros. So I'm playing Smash Ultimate. Actually, right now I'm using a this is a USB-C to USB 3.0 thing. I think what I'm talking about might be OTG. Yeah, it stands for on the go, and it's like you use that as a host for a USB connector. I got this for like $8, and then I just have this generic, I don't know what brand it is, USB hub with 4 ports on it. Connect them together. Plug them into the Switch. Have my GameCube controller adapter with the controller attached. And here I am. And here we are. So, my thoughts so far, it definitely works. I think I've gotten less picky over the years with controllers in general, but These control sticks do feel really good, for a third party especially. The buttons feel fine. The D-pad is, quite honestly, about as good as the GameCube D-pad. I don't have a game that predominantly uses the D-pad. Well, actually, yes I do. But I'll test that in a second. Oops. Well, I play with regular GameCube controllers a lot, so I guess you can take it from me if you want to that this controller feels pretty good for Smash. Surprisingly, I mean, I've read some bad things, but this was decent. And just a second. Actually, real quick, let me just do this. Okay. Here, just a second. Okay, so here I'm ready to play. So start off with, like, I don't know, Super Mario Bros. And I'm playing this with the D-pad because that's what I'd like to assess right now. I tried. Okay. Let's try something with 4 directions to push. Like, Like right now I'm using the joystick. And now I'm using the D-pad. Right, left, down, up, down, left, right. Like, you have to really push to get that to work. And I know the Smash Bros. Controller, the GameCube controller doesn't have a great D-pad, but the Spongebob controller just has a really bad D-pad. I'm sorry. But otherwise, it's pretty usable. I wouldn't recommend it as a first choice. I guess if you really had to use it somehow, or if you're a collector like me and you like obscure game controllers, then this is something. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in whenever I upload again. I almost forgot that I was meaning to open up this controller as well. Now, in the little instruction booklet here, it says, never disassemble the controller. Well, that is exactly what I'm about to do. One other thing. They talk about not putting it in like a greasy place. This controller, I mean, this cord is like slathered in some weird crap that smells bad. It's not right. I don't know. It's really off. Makes me feel dirty. All right. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so this does have a Phillips head. That's weird. This screw's like flat, and all the others are like round. Okay, I have a really small Phillips head, and I have this really big one, so I'm glad that this big one works, because I couldn't find my medium-sized one. Okay. Perfect. Just gonna set those down. So this controller, that wasn't a good sound. Yeah, I'm gonna be editing most of this out. All right. This last weird screw is coming out totally fine. Oh, my bad. I was gonna say that's a very different screw. It's flat and it's shorter. Freaking autofocus. And it's shorter. I wonder why that's there. Well, I guess we're about to find out. If I remember, you open a GameCube controller like this. Oh. Okay, let's save that for a second. So here's the back. It's got this little thing, I guess. Has a pretty standard setup for these third-party L and R buttons. So, I mean, there's that. And then we have this. Okay. Okay, a couple of things. Well, to start with, here's our Z button. You can feel that micro switch. Awful. What is this? This is just like a string of hot glue. Were these pieced together by hand? I guess, I don't know, maybe. Alright, well, it's got a little, like, dust on it. Well, might as well take that off. And then let's take the whole thing off. So we got our regular control stick, which is already dirty, by the way. This is just that, just... Ooh, these are shaped kind of weirdly. They're like almost standard, but like this is upside down and like so weird. Some capacitors. All right. More button contacts. There's the vibration. So that's that. Ooh. Ooh, that... Okay, yeah. So these are the little, these are the, like, teeth buttons. I think they go, like... You know what? I don't actually remember. Oh, I remember. They went like this. In SpongeBob's mouth. So those are here. So I guess they must have been too lazy to change the design from the PS2 controller. Because to hold these in place, they actually just have these two things so that you can't like press down on them. I think that's really stupid. But okay. Here's the start button. This is kind of elongated. But I guess these things do have interesting, what are these? I forget what they're called, but the like rubber pads. I think that's a bigger than average D-pad thing. Back there. And then they have individual pads for all the buttons. So that's interesting. I guess I'll take these out, check them out. I also like how they use their own font. It's not like a themed font or anything. It's just A, B, C, X, Y. That's not the official GameCube font because they don't have... I don't think they got direct licensing from Nintendo. So this is a third-party controller. If one with a little history, which I find kind of neat. Is this how this goes in? That's how that goes in. That it like rests on that and like it doesn't go into this hole at all. I don't know. I just think that's weird. I've taken apart a lot of GameCube controllers. Okay. Put that back in the right way. Jeez. Did I damage this? Did I rip that off? I don't know. I guess just gonna leave that there. All right, and make sure these analog pressure sensitive things are just chilling there at the top. So when I slot the controller back in, everything lines up. And I'm inclined to believe that everything does line up, but am I stupid? I must be stupid. I don't know how stupid I am, though. I guess that's just how that's gonna go then. I guess. That would mean that this controller just doesn't fit together very well. Which, if that's true, that's a little sad. But, okay, I guess. So it's a pretty standard third-party controller. But I'm not really a tech person, so I couldn't do an in-depth look at any of this stuff. That one screw is still really weird. Yeah, that's the SpongeBob SquarePants GameCube controller. So that's that. Guess I'll have to take that to some tournaments. I'll see you guys.